Hello, ladies. Ooh, it is Tuesday. And once a week we get on here, and we do a training to support and to honor you guys and to give you as much information as humanly possible to be able to help you close more deals and to be able to get to what you want to accomplish for this month. So, that being said, as we get started, as people are hopping in, please drop in the chat what you sell. And, when it comes to helping your prospects open up, right? Like if you've ever felt pushy in a sales conversation, just put me below so we're all on the same page. Drop me below if you've ever felt pushy on a sales call, if you've ever felt awkward, felt out of alignment for you, because that's definitely how I felt. And that's definitely what it was like when it got started for me, right? And I felt like so many times I was in conversations and I'd be hoping and praying that I would make the sale. Like, dear God, please let something that I say today land, please. Or I would be on sales calls all day long and I'm like, man, like I just hope that it works out for me today. Or I would be in situations where I'd be outbound dialing and people would pick up the phone and I'm like, oh God, like, please don't hang up on me. Please don't hang up on me. I don't know if anyone else has ever been there. And at the end of every day, I just felt so stressed out and so overwhelmed that I couldn't even be present with my daughter. And so I'm like at a conflict with myself because I'm working really hard to make sure that she's taken care of. And at the same time, I can't even spend time with her at the end of the day because I'm so burnt out and overwhelmed. Right? And how do you fix that? Like, how do you get into a place where like you don't feel like that every day and you do feel energized and you do feel like you're taking care of yourself and the people that you're speaking to and that they want to talk to you, that they do drop their guard, that they're curious and they are leaning in on every single word that you're saying? And like, how do you get to a place like that? And it is your skill level, right? It's the quality of the questions that you're asking. It's understanding what a prospect means, not just what they say. It's learning tonality, learning body language. Like there's so many things that come with advancing your skill set. And, mastery is the repetition of skill. It's you acquiring those skills and then you mastering those skills so that it's natural to you, so that you don't hesitate on the phone, right? I was role playing with one of our girls today and we were role playing insurance and we're talking about an objection that comes up in insurance. Oh, I already have a provider, right? And how fast can you get through? Oh, we already have a provider that we're with. Like, can you not awkwardly, just get information? Like, oh yeah, that's not a problem. May I ask like who you are working with or who your policy's with? Oh, it's with XYZ company. Yeah, they're fairly decent. Do you know, like off the top of your head, how much coverage you actually got? Yeah, well, we got 25,000. 25,000. Do you feel like that's enough, to cover the expenses, the funeral expenses, and leave extra behind for your family, in case anything were to happen? Oh, I don't know, like, would you be even opposed? And I don't know if we could get you a better rate or a better policy. Like, would you be opposed to us going through a few different options for you? And if it looks like we can help you, we can, go into next steps. Like, would that be helpful? Right? And trying to be able to get this person down the line with you and this person like throughout the conversation with you versus feeling awkward and not knowing what to do because they triggered you. Right? And emotionally you're like, oh God. And then awkwardly you're like trying to like navigate it. And the only way that you're going to become fluid with it and it's going to feel better and you're not going to sound awkward on these calls is by repetition and by really, really acquiring those skills so that you know what to say and how to say it, right? So today we're going to be focusing on, your way to get prospects to let down their guard, and the best way to create more sales for you and to make more money is to get your prospects to emotionally own their problem. The biggest driver for somebody to make a change is emotional pain. if they feel enough emotional pain, and they sit in it, they're going to want to make a change. And by getting them to emotionally own their problem and take responsibility for it, it is the best way to do this. For example, like let's say that you're talking to somebody and you're selling high ticket, and we're like doing business consulting, and I'm talking to this person and they're telling me, yeah, I've bought, 5 courses before, really haven't gotten results with it. I don't know if anyone else has gotten that objection. And in that moment, you ask them, you're like, oh, wow, like which courses did you do? I did this and I did this and I did this. Oh, well, do you feel like anybody was able to get results with them? Well, yeah, this person did, this person did, this person did. Oh, well, with them getting those results, like, why do you feel like you didn't obtain the same success? Well, I didn't show up and like I didn't really get this done. Now they're owning it. They're taking responsibility for it, and makes it a them problem versus a you problem. So now later on in the call, they don't give you the objection that they're just going to figure it out on their own, or that buying programs don't work. Right. And the whole point of sales is to get people to change their perspective and take ownership and radical responsibility for what's not working, and getting them to make some type of change. And it can be in any industry. So solution awareness questions. That was an example of a solution awareness question. As a really great way that you can be able to do this. And the methodology that we're teaching is NEPQ RED, right? Neuro Emotional Persuasion Questioning. Originally made by Jeremy Miner, we went through and we created a feminine perspective of this, so that you as ladies, as women, we would have a community to support you, so that you're around other women that are going after the same thing. And because you experience some things that are a little bit different in sales than guys do, and like how to navigate those certain challenges and things that come up. When you're using NAPQ solution awareness questions, what we're trying to do in this is trying to figure out, what has this person done prior to now about finding your solution? And the reason why I'm asking this person this is so that I can understand the way that they make decisions. So back to that first example that I just gave you, and regarding like high ticket, a solution awareness question would have been, to get to that answer, was like, well, before today, have you looked for other ways so that you can, acquire like more advice and more business skills, so that you can grow the business and be able to, increase your revenue and help more people? And they're like, well, yeah, I've tried this course, I've tried this course, I've tried this course. And now I'm getting them to take responsibility again by asking, well, which courses? And did anybody get, results in those courses? Well, why do you feel, right? Using the word feel, not think, because we buy based off of emotion. Why do you feel like you did not get the same results? And letting them take responsibility for that, right? And so the reason why you're doing this is 4 reasons. So I took notes for myself, but I want to make sure that you guys take these notes as well. So I'm going to post these in the chat, because I think that it's really important for you to understand why it is that you're asking certain questions, not just asking them to ask them, right? So first off here, posting this in the comments for you guys. Perfect. Right? So prospects will tell you the benefits and the advantages of solving the problem. Secondly, they're going to understand how the prospect thinks and what they're prepared to do about changing. Third is that their ideas will become a part of the solution as they start to own the problem, and they will say how the changes will make them feel. They are going to start to see how their future will be solved. And number 4, they're going to attach the emotion of solving the problem. So solving the problem, they're going to attach what it would look like, and what it would look like would be through your solution. And they're going to start to see that it's more risky for them to do nothing than it would be to purchase your solution and get the result that you want, right? So the way that you're going to do this is you're going to ask a very simple question, right? And I'm going to give you this question so you can start using this in your scripts. So in your framework, when you are going down and you are asking what's going on in questions to get certain answers, the first thing we want to do is connect with the prospect. We're connecting them. We're establishing that we're the knowledgeable expert. We're establishing that we're results-based thinking from the beginning, right? And from there, we're starting to ask situation questions, which are more logical-based questions so that you and them can both understand their situation. From there, we're asking problem awareness questions, and we're going into depth about how their problem, how their situation, how long has it been there? Who is it affecting? How else is it affecting them? Does it impact them personally? Like, what is going on here so that they feel this gap starting to build in their mind about where they are to where they want to be. And from there, after you ask the problem awareness questions, we tap into the first set of solution awareness part 1 questions, which is what I'm going over. And the first thing that you're going to ask is something like this, like, before today, what have you done about solving whatever problem it is that they're facing? So before today, can you walk me through what you have been doing about, putting a policy in place so that you can protect your family? So before today, what have you done? Like, have you done anything about, doing some type of training, or have you enrolled in any type of gym so that you could get healthy, so that you can have more energy to spend with your kids? So, before today, have you done anything about, possibly getting health insurance in place for your employees so that they can have more retention with the company and stay longer, right? It doesn't matter what industry, it's just trying to figure out why they did something before today. Does anybody have any questions so far? Hope everyone is with me. I'm going fast, right? Or, another alternative could be like, well, before you found us here, like, have you done anything to solve XYZ? Or what did you do, before today to change the situation, like, if you could? Or like, have you before today looked for anything that would give you XYZ? What have you done before today to be able to do XYZ, like, if anything? Or before you found us today, were you out there looking for XYZ, or what were you really doing to try to change your situation? And again, the only reason why I'm asking this is because I'm trying to pre-handle objections. The biggest objections that you get at the end of the call is because you don't know how to pre-handle them. And our whole intention for today, right, is to get people in their emotions so that they want to buy. And we're not trying to push them to buy, right? So we want to make sure that we're understanding what they've done so that they don't have that same thought process at the end of the call. Let's say this person, before today, were you out there like looking for ways so that you could find more accounting so that your business is in place? Or were you out there looking for a CPA or an accountant so that you could get everything in order and organizational wise to make sure that you don't overpay in taxes every single year? And they're like, well, yeah, I've done a lot of like research on YouTube, right? What does that tell me about that answer with that person? I've done a lot of research on YouTube, right? I don't go into the next question yet. I'm just holding a little pause here so that you can understand how I think in a sales conversation. This person says, well, before today, I've been out there looking on YouTube. I've been researching online. I know that maybe they're a researcher of information, but they're a lack of action. Maybe. I don't want to assume. I also know that maybe they like to do things themselves, right? So I don't really know what's coming up for them. I have to ask for clarity because I never want to assume, right? Assume makes an ass out of you and me, right? So I don't want to assume. So I want to ask for clarity here. So I ask the question again, like, let's say that, I sell like tax consultant services or something. And I talked to this person. So, Sally, before today, have you been out there looking for like a CPA or a tax consultant so that you can, really organize all of your finances so that, you don't overpay in taxes every single year? Or what have you been doing? And the reason why I'm saying that, guys, is I'm always getting them to be results-based thinking. I'm always getting them to think that if they don't do something, there's consequences for it. Okay. Oh, well, Kayla, I've been YouTubing it up, and I've been researching a lot. I just haven't found what I've been looking for yet. Okay, YouTube. I'm mirroring back what they said, and that gives them permission to open up more. I can also say, oh, well, YouTube, like, what exactly are you looking for on there? How long have you been doing that? Yeah, I mean, we've been looking for the past like 4 months, and I think like whenever I think about it, I go on and watch like a 10-minute video here and there, and I've gotten a little bit of information, but nothing's really helped me so far. So when you say that, just so I can understand, do you feel like the information that you are looking for is just not there? Or do you feel like maybe it's a lot of time to go through it? Or help me understand why you haven't felt like you found what you were looking for yet, right? Again, still asking for clarity. Oh, it's just really time consuming. I really don't have time to go through all this content. And then honestly, I really just don't know what to do. Right? So, but I still want to know why now though? Why the 4 months and now they're looking for something, and at the end of this call, if I don't know that she's going to make decisions differently in the future, she's going to keep doing the same thing that she's always done, right? So she needs to feel like there's some consequence if she doesn't move forward, right? So I want to still dig here a little bit and help understand, well, is there a certain reason as to why this is so important to you right now, though? I mean, yeah, the end of the year is coming up, and I'm afraid that I'm going to be overpaying like I did last year. It seems like this is really important to you then, huh? Yes. And now I finish the first part of my solution awareness, and I go into the second part where I start getting her to imagine her future of what it would look like after her problem is solved. Yes. And again, I just want you guys to notice my tonality here, right? Like my tonality here is really inviting, right? I have a soft voice. I'm concerned for her. I care. I'm empathetic, and I'm getting curious enough to try to figure out like what's going on and why now, and why this is so important so that I can see if I can help her. Right? If there's any questions of that, just let me know. So we want to make sure that, when you're doing this, the most important thing that I see people miss out on is that you ask a question and then they answer, and then you ask another question and then they answer, and then you ask another question, when each question is like an onion. Okay. Each question, when somebody answers, not that they're doing this on purpose, but sometimes when people answer you, they're not being fully, authentically transparent. And it says you're a stranger typically, right? Like somebody's not going to come and air all the dirty laundry at you and tell you all the things that are horrible and be super just like bold and open like that. So when somebody tells you something, sometimes it's just a surface level answer. And there's typically layers to what they said, which is having clarity of what they mean by what they said, and then understanding how that's affecting them and understanding what's going on there and understanding what that is. So each question that you ask, when they answer you, you have to pause and sit there in their answer and ask questions about their answer before you fully understand how it's impacting them until you move to the next question. And this is going to cause or call for some self-control here so that you can sit here and have understanding and then move to the second aspect of this, and I truly believe that you get to have two aspects when it comes to being really great at sales. Really great at sales, really good at knowing how to have these conversations and how to help people. First is your skill level, right, which we discussed earlier here. And secondly is your mental toughness and your ability to believe in yourself, your ability to understand how valuable you are and what you bring to the table, so that you don't feel nervous, or so that you don't compare yourself to others, or so you don't worry about like, oh God, did I say it right? Did I do it right? And so many times we feel like so frustrated with ourselves, or feel like we're not good enough, or feel like, oh man, I have to hit certain levels in order to be worthy of these sales, or oh my gosh, I'm just never going to get it right. Why are these people doing it and not me? And we go in this spiral versus learning how to go inwards with ourselves and work on us at the same time that we're growing our skill level. Jim Rohn talks about you work on yourself harder than you work on your job. And he also says that you're paid based on the value that you bring to the marketplace. And the value that you bring to the marketplace is a direct reflection of the skills that you have. So I truly believe on working on both at the same time. I think it's really, really important to be able to establish, a vision for yourself and where you're going, and being willing to do everything impossible to be able to get there. So we have something really, really exciting just to support and pour into women. This month is really, really special to me because I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and my aunt passed away from domestic violence, and this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's so many women out there that have been through so much, and we really want to be able to just spend some time with you guys and help and support you. So it's either going to be tonight or probably tomorrow or the next day. We're going to be announcing everything officially. But next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we are going to be doing a 3-day event here in this Facebook group, just for the women in this Facebook group. There's 7,000 women in here. We're going to be streaming it live into the group. We're going to be doing another Closing Deals and Heels challenge. Last year we gave a pair of Louboutins away, so it was like the really coolest, awesomest thing ever, and we're just gonna be pouring into for 3 days. So I believe times are going to be 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST for 2 hours each day. We'll have an option for you to come and spend some additional time with us afterwards as a VIP and give you some scripting one-on-one. And, I want you to be successful, right? Like, I want you to feel powerful, know how freaking worthy you are, know how beautiful you are, know how intelligent you are, know that you're seriously one of a kind. At the same time, I want you to obtain all the skills that you need to be successful in sales, all the skills that you need to help people and to be able to get higher commissions, to be able to ask that pay raise, or to be able to acquire a better job. Like, there's so many things that get to happen, and we as women get to stand together and create something super beautiful and create, a movement here of other women that also get to make money and get to feel good while doing it. To all my mamas out there, mamas that work from home, see, man, like you ladies are so incredibly strong and powerful, and we get to be the voice for those that don't have one right now. And so I honor all of you for stepping up and, for even being vulnerable in here and saying that. I think like 1 out of 3 women experience some type of abuse. Like, it gets to end, and we get to be a voice for those to end it. So we want to give back this month and pour into you ladies. So I will be giving announcements that soon. If you want to be a part of that, just put in the chat below, just comment challenge, and we'll make sure that we get you registered for that challenge. It's a free challenge for 3 days. And for anybody that has not been able to get on a role play with us, and you want to role play your script, just comment below role play. Somebody on my team will reach out to you, and we'll make sure that we get on a role play with you and really help you and see what you may be saying or not saying that could be triggering some resistance inside of our calls. So I honor you ladies. I love you. I hope that you all have an amazing day. I hope that you take this information and put it in your scripts right now and start utilizing it and start really working on, your ability to hold space for the person in front of you and really, really allow yourself to get into uncomfortability and see, what's possible for this person. Is it more risky for them to do nothing at all and stay the same? Or is it more risky or less risky for them to buy your product or service and get their problem solved, right? So again, is it more risky for them to do nothing at all and everything stays the same? Or is it less risky for them to buy your product or service and get their problems solved, and how to get your clients and your prospects to understand that. So I appreciate you guys. I will see you soon, and I hope that you'll have an amazing Tuesday, and we will have that information on that challenge coming up in the next, hopefully 24 hours. Woo, exciting.